Coming up on this episode of Rebel Report, UNLV football prepares to take on the Utah State Aggies.
Plus, we have an exclusive interview with UNLV volleyball coach Don Sullivan.
And the reason why Jon Gruden has resigned as the Las Vegas Raiders head coach. Welcome to Studio B on the campus of UNLV. This is the Rebel Report, and I'm Jarrett Thompson.
I'm Emmett Kenny. Before we dive into the local sports news of the week, we want to tell you what we're all about and what we hope to give you watching at home.
Every week for a half hour, we will cover UNLV athletics, the games, the events, the athletes, and coaches.
But we're also here to cover all of the major sporting events happening in Southern Nevada and to tell stories you won't see anywhere else. Let's begin with our top story.
The Vegas Golden Knights kicked off the regular season on Tuesday against the Seattle Kraken. In the first ever meeting between the two newest expansion teams in the NHL, the Golden Knights went home victorious on Tuesday. Max Pacioretty and Mark Stone each posted 3 points, with Pacioretty netting the first goal of VGK's season. Jonathan Marchessault added to Vegas' lead, making it a 2-0 lead in the first period. Pacioretty got his second goal of the game in the second period after deflecting the puck off Nick Haas's shot. Goals from Ryan Donato and Jared McCann helped the Kraken advance to make the game 3-2 heading into the third. Morgan Geekie ties the game for the Kraken, but not for long, as Vegas' Chandler Stevenson scored for the Knights, making the game 4-3. Vegas held on for the win, with Robin Leonard making 28 saves. The Golden Knights will be back at T-Mobile Arena to take on the St. Louis Blues on the 20th.
UNLV football returns to action at home this Saturday.
UNLV football returns home this upcoming Saturday after having their bye week last weekend. They'll host the Utah State Aggies in hopes of their first win of the season.
UNLV football returns to play this week as they will host the Utah State Aggies at Allegiant Stadium. UNLV has started the season 0-5 but seem to be improving more and more by the week. Coach Arroyo spoke about the tough competition his team has played and how proud he is of his team.
You got an experienced, deep, well-coached, winning football programs you're up against, and I think those challenges our guys have met head on. I'm proud of them for how they've taken that on.
The Rebels were a little banged up going into the bye week, so it definitely helped the team get healthier. Both quarterbacks Doug Brumfield and Cameron Farrell should be good to go, while tight end Cameron Farrell will likely miss the rest of the season with a knee injury. Offensive lineman Julio Garcia talked about how important it is for the leaders of the team to tell the team to keep their heads up as they still search for their first win.
So I just try to lead by example, not show too much emotion, even when it's going good or bad.
UNLV still look for their first win with head coach Marcus Arroyo in charge. Utah State comes in with a 3-2 record while both teams are coming off their bye week. I'm Jarrett Thompson, Rebel Report.
The Las Vegas Raiders return home after their first loss of the season, look for a bounce back against the Bears. The Raiders have had a rough week, and it showed on the field with a disappointing performance against the Chicago Bears. The Bears were in control for most of the game and shut down the Raiders' offense, only giving up 9 points. Raiders quarterback Derek Carr gives his thoughts on the offensive struggles.
Practice was off. I don't think that anyone's mindset was off. Honestly, as a team, our focus inside the building was, we just had a heartbreaker Monday night. We got a short week, we got to get ready to play. And so our mindset going into it, we weren't, thinking about anything else or anything like that. But we didn't play good enough. Like that out there, that ain't going to cut it. What we put out there today in the last, really, however many days, that ain't going to cut it, and that's not going to win football games. So we got to get back to work, and we got to get ready to go.
The Raiders' next game is October 17th as they go on the road to face divisional opponent the Denver Broncos.
Also in Raiders news, Las Vegas Raiders head coach Jon Gruden has resigned from the organization earlier this week. Following the release of dozens of Gruden's personal emails that contained misogynistic and homophobic remarks, Gruden stated, "I have resigned as head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. I love the Raiders and do not want to be a distraction." Rich Bisaccia will serve as the interim head coach of the Raiders for the time being. The Las Vegas Aces are back in the playoffs after a losing effort in last year's WNBA Finals. This time around, they played the Phoenix Mercury in the semifinals. Let's take a see what our reporter Kyle Randolph has to say about the series.
The series between the Phoenix Mercury and the Las Vegas Aces took all 5 games to complete. Let's see how it went as we recap the game for you.
The Aces won Game 1 of the series, but fell short in Game 2. The Mercury beat the Aces 117-91, as Diana Taurasi finished the game with 37 points. Kelsey Plum led the Aces in points as she scored 25, but it was not enough. Game 3 was a low-scoring effort, but the Aces could not rebound off their Game 2 loss, losing the game 87-60. The Mercury's Brianna Turner scored 23 points and grabbed 17 rebounds. Game 4 was a must-win for the Aces, and that's exactly what they did in a 93-76 victory. Their defense played well, and multiple players could not be stopped. Chelsea Gray scored 22 points, Kelsey Plum scored 20, Asia Wilson scored 15 and grabbed 12 rebounds. After that important win, this is what Chelsea Gray had to say when asked about the message she was trying to send throughout the game.
Man, this is a winner-go-home moment, and we just had to play it to the end.
Game 5 would determine the winner of the series, and in a back-and-forth contest, the Phoenix Mercury won 87-84. The player of the game was Brittany Griner, who scored 28 points and grabbed 9 rebounds. This is what the Mercury Skylar Diggins Smith had to say about how it felt to advance to the WNBA Finals.
Just the fashion that we had to do it. Everybody showed so much heart. We had so many people step up.
Even though the Game 5 loss was heartbreaking for the Aces, it was still a good season.
To their absolute limit, the WNBA Finals between the Mercury and the Chicago Sky will be a great series. UNLV sophomore Desiree Young was named the 2021-2022 preseason Mountain West Women's Basketball All-Conference team. Young is the reigning Mountain West Freshman of the Year after averaging 11.4 points last season for the Rebels. The regular season for the Lady Rebels begins on November 9th against Oral Roberts.
UNLV men's soccer are back at home for a weekend of matches. Let's go to Rebel Report reporter Samantha Fuller, who's at the Peter John Memorial Field for the game.
Behind me, the UNLV men's soccer team are warming up for their 5th WAC conference game of this season.
The Rebels played the Chicago State Cougars at the Peter Johann Memorial Field and jumped to a quick lead in the 6th minute after senior Jesus Partida netted his first goal of the season with a penalty kick. The Cougars made an equalizing goal in the 8th minute. However, the Rebels made a quick response as junior Skylar scored his second goal of the season in the 16th minute, which ended up securing the 2-1 win for UNLV. Here's what defender Nick Williams had to say about tonight's win.
We needed the 3 points and the 6 points on the weekend. And I think that as a team, it's hard to play on Sundays because everybody's tired, and we grinded this one out. I think as a team, we can just improve on not giving up as many goals. I think the defense needs to play better and not concede goals and give our forwards a chance to have a little bit of time to score. We feel good. This was a big weekend for us. We really needed this, and now we're full of confidence headed into Utah Valley next Saturday.
I'm Samantha Fuller for Rebel Report.
The UNLV men's soccer will be back again in Utah Valley on Saturday the 16th of October at 6 p.m. and will be live streamed live on ESPN+.
Coming up, we have the rundown presented by Christian and Isaac. They will be providing you an update on the sporting news around UNLV and the Las Vegas city. If you haven't already, make sure to follow our website for more Rebel Report content. Our website can be found at www.rebelreportunlv.com. There you'll find all the articles and videos written and produced by our students, as well as exclusive stories you won't find anywhere else.
Where are you getting that from?
What, the song?
Yeah, you've been humming it all day.
It's the UNLV fight song and the Rebel Report theme song for last year.
Rebel Report? What's that?
You don't know what the Rebel Report is?
Nope.
It's a student-run program all about Las Vegas sports. It goes from UNLV sports to the Knights, Raiders, Aces, and more.
Really? Does it go over a little bit of other stuff too?
Yeah, everything to do with Las Vegas and sports in general.
I love Vegas. That sounds perfect for me.
Yeah, let's put it on.
Awesome. Let's go. Everyone's humming it. I mean, it is pretty catchy.
Welcome to the Rundown on Rebel Report. I'm Christian Frias.
And I'm Isaac Paglialunga.
Well, there's been a lot going on this past Sunday. Let's first start off with the big headline news, Jon Gruden and the Raiders.
Yeah, that was very disappointing to see, you know. I grew up as a Raider fan. Jon Gruden was somebody that was very important to our franchise. People felt like he really embodied what it meant to be a Raider. You know, he's an old school, tough guy. But unfortunately, he said some things that you just can't say. And so, unfortunately, what had to be done was done, and he's no longer the coach of the Raiders.
Man, it's unfortunate to truly see. I know a lot of the fans are disappointed. I know that a lot of players on the team really loved and supported him. How do you think about how that's going to turn out for the rest of the season?
Yeah, he's already had some players come out and speak on what he said. You know, I know Josh Jacobs said that Jon was kind of like a father figure to him. Derek Carr said that he still loves Jon Gruden, you just hate what he said. And so that's kind of how the players are taking it. But, you know, UNLV basketball season's coming up real soon. How are you feeling about the team? I know you've gotten to go to a few practices.
Oh, man, they're looking good. I got to say, they're looking real good. My boy, Bryce Hamilton, is back. Marvin Coleman's feeling good. And we have a lot of new transfer students, which I think are really going to build the team up and really push this season to make something new, make something happen. I think that the fans should definitely come out this season and watch the games.
So you have very high expectations on the team this year, it seems like.
Oh, very high, very high. You will see me at all the games, home games, courtside, just talking to the players, really getting the fans involved. Like I was mentioning earlier, the players that are coming back, it's so good to see them just work together and really build upon the last couple of years, and I think this season's going to be different.
Something UNLV seems to always do well is recruit, especially in basketball. How do you feel about this new recruiting class coming in?
You know, every season I think it's good. I think we get better and better, and I think we have a lot of new players that are really going to help us just move forward with the offense and defense on both sides of the court. And it helps that we have a new head coach, Kevin Kruger, which I think his game plan will definitely be very beneficial and will definitely push the agenda forward.
So what is kind of Kevin Kruger's way of coaching? What do you say his style is?
Very defense-oriented. He really likes to have his players really extend on defense and really have this team focus where we all play as one. And I believe that, you know, defense is 50% of the game, so if we can win on that end, then we should be able to win on the other one as well.
Yeah, a lot of people say the best offense is a good defense. So do you think we should expect to see some really low-scoring games this year?
Defensively, this season, yes, we should. But we do have a really good offensive power team as well. So expect a lot of shooting, expect a lot of dunking, and, you know, a lot of cutting. And it's just going to be a whole lot. So definitely I wish the fans to come out and come watch. First game is going to be very lit, very on fire, so I hope everybody comes out.
How was your experience watching the team practice? You know, you seem very excited about what you've seen.
The team practice was wonderful, just getting a chance to kind of see how everybody's going to gel together and really watching the coaches instruct their players and them understanding how to run the offense, how to play the defense, and really how to move up and down the court. Everything that I've seen really impressed me, and I hope it will impress the fans on the first game day.
I could say for myself, I'm very excited to be able to go to UNLV games again. I haven't been to one since like my sophomore year of college, which was 2 years ago. So it's been a while, and you know, with everything that's happened over the past 2 years, I can say I'm very excited to get back out there watching the games in the student section.
Man, yeah, it would be quite a spectacular time to see. So I can't wait until it comes up faster so we could get to the game and we could just be embraced in everything about UNLV basketball.
Yeah, alrighty. Well, we thank you guys for watching the rundown. Coming up, next on Rebel Report, Alex Wright chats with head coach of the first place UNLV volleyball team, Sullivan, about its current season.
Tired of boring sports talk shows that don't even cover the Las Vegas area? Want a sports show that's available for you at any time? Well, you're in luck because Rebel Report is just for you. The Rebel Report covers all the local sports stories in the Las Vegas area. You can visit their website at rebelreportunlv.com, where you can find all of the student-written and produced stories, shows, interviews, and much more. You can also visit their YouTube channel at Rebel Report UNLV for shows and exclusive interviews. The Rebel Report is the way to go for Las Vegas sports. UNLV volleyball is on fire as they extend to a 5-game winning streak with their 3-0 win against the Fresno State Bulldogs. The Rebels tally their second straight sweep with this win against the Bulldogs, improving their record to 14-3. The fifth-year senior outside hitter Maria Hayden had match-high 13 kills and hit .308 against the Bulldogs. Hayden recently became UNLV volleyball's career leader in kills, adding this high kill game to her record. Freshman middle blocker Chloe Thomas recorded 5 kills with no errors to hit .625 against the Bulldogs to take home Mountain West Freshman of the Week. UNLV has now won 43 of its last 49 matches dating back to 2019, and they look to improve their record and keep their streak alive on their 2-game road trip against Utah State and Boise State.
It's now time for our interview segment of the show.
Our own Alex Wright had the chance to speak with UNLV volleyball head coach Don Sullivan. Here is their conversation.
So, Coach, new season with a bit of a new team. So how is your team kind of handling getting back to playing a normal season after COVID last year and trying to achieve goals like winning the Mountain West Championship?
Yeah, I think they're fired up. But yeah, it is a whole new team, right? And a whole new season. And I think it presents its own challenges. And we always, when we start every season, we think this is a whole different group. And you can't, no matter what you've done in the past, it doesn't matter. You got to make sure you show up that day in and day out and continue to get better. And so I think this team is really starting to come together. I'm really excited about the growth we've had in the last 2-3 weeks, and excited to see where they're going to go to.
You mentioned that growth. What have been some areas where you've seen growth, and what are kind of you most proud of in terms of areas of improvement of this team so far?
Yeah, I think the growth that I'm probably most proud of is just that unity between each other. I think it takes some time to figure out that bond. And those that have watched, if you followed our team in the past couple of years, we've had the same group. And so we graduated 5 after COVID. And so we obviously returned Marina Hayden, which she's special, right? And she can carry a lot of load, but we have a lot of new faces on the court. And so that bond between each other and the way they communicate with each other and the way they just play and gel, it takes work, and so I'm really proud of that piece, that unity, that they've really figured out how to gel on the court.
You mentioned Marina Hayden, who's been a huge piece for this program. She's breaking all sorts of records, but you also have a lot of other players who are juniors and seniors that have been with you as you've as you're building UNLV volleyball. Can you talk a little bit about those players and how special they've been to not just build up UNLV volleyball, but help the younger players come along to make sure that tradition of winning continues?
Yeah, that piece is huge, right? And we have some really high character players on our team. Two that stand out to me right away is Kate Brennan and Lauren Burt. They both are just really, really high character individuals. And I think they put the work in, right? They're relentless every day when they walk in the gym, but they also care. So they do all these little things behind the scene that sometimes don't get noticed, right? But that's actually what really helps his team gel and helps his team become one. We have a few others as well. I think that's one thing that makes this team so special, is they all just are really, really good people, and they want to be great at everything they do, whether it's on or off the court.
Obviously, now you guys are having fans back into the stands. Can you kind of talk about, for the students who haven't been to a UNLV volleyball game yet, what the experience is like there at the Cox Pavilion? I know you guys have a lot of specialty nights too, like your next game against Wyoming is a Greek life night. Can you also touch on that as well?
Yeah, we'd love to get our students out. I think it's a really, really fun environment. We have music going, seats around 3,000. And so can we get that gym packing or jumping and being really loud? I think Arian Fafard's family, that alone, they bring the Hawaiian spirit out, and then just these cheers left and right. And little dance-offs. I think there's just a lot of energy in that gym, and I think our team, they play off of that, right? So as many fans we can get out in the gym, I think is great. We do have a lot of themes, people get those Greek life out there and supporting us. We do play 5 p.m. versus Wyoming coming up on October 21st. And so, again, whatever we can do to get you guys out there, you let us know, but we'd love to have your support.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Coach Sullivan, for being on the Rebel Board today, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Yeah, thank you so much for your support, Alex.
And remember, students, you can get into every UNLV volleyball game for free. Get your tickets online at unlvtickets.com or show your Rebel card at the ticket window the day of the game. As Coach Sullivan mentioned, their next game is Thursday, October 21st against Wyoming at 5 p.m.
Coming up on Rebel Report, we take a look at UNLV men's golf.
Don't forget to check out our weekly podcasts on Spotify. Every week we break down all the big sports stories happening in Las Vegas, including the Rebels, Raiders, Golden Knights, and much more.
Somebody that's going to drastically impact our viewership would
Where are you getting that from?
What, the song?
Yeah, you've been humming it all day.
It's the UNLV fight song and the Rebel Report theme song for last year.
Rebel Report? What's that?
You don't know what the Rebel Report is?
Nope.
It's a student-run program all about Las Vegas sports. It goes from UNLV sports to the Knights, Raiders, Aces, and more.
Really? Does it go over a little bit of other stuff too?
Yeah, everything to do with Las Vegas and sports in general.
I love Vegas. That sounds perfect for me.
Yeah, let's put it on.
Awesome. Let's go.
Everyone's humming it. I mean, it is pretty catchy.
UNLV men's golf player David Roche shot a final round 1 under par 70 Tuesday to finish in a tie at 5th place at the Trinity Forest Invitational. Roche shot under par in all 3 rounds, finishing the event with 11 birdies and an eagle. There were 14 teams total competing at the tournament, hosted at SMU, with the Rebels finishing 10th at 21 over. The Rebels will close out the golf season next week at University of Nevada's Wolfpack's Classic.
The Shriners Children Open concluded this weekend. 23-year-old South Korean native Sung Jae Im fired off 4 birdies in his first 7 holes on Sunday. They went to the top of the leaderboard after 5 straight birdies on holes 9 through 13. His big lead allowed him to play cautiously, making pars on his final 5 holes to end with a 62 and claim the title. That will do it for this episode of Rebel Report.
Thanks for watching and have a good weekend.